mean, the theme song just makes all the difference in the world. I'm very sorry it took us 3.5 weeks to figure out we needed to add music at the top of this thing. Happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome back to the Producer's Perspective Live. Thank you for tuning in. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. We have 2 guests, 2 for the price of 1. That's right, we're really giving you value for your donation tonight. This is not free, by the way. We're doing this for the Actors Fund. Mary, throw up that graphic. That's right, we're doing this for the Actors Fund, so make sure you throw a little money in that tip jar for everybody that is dealing with this crisis right now. We have actually the head of the Actors Fund, Joseph Benincasa. He's going to be with us in just a little bit, and he'll tell you all about the fund and what they're doing right now. And if anyone is working hard right now, it's this guy. He's dealing with a lot of stuff, so he's going to tell us all about everything that's going on. And then, of course, we have Ali Stroker, Tony Award-winning Ali Stroker on board tonight. Oklahoma, Deaf West Spring Awakening, an incredibly inspiring woman. Look at that. Look at that shot. Those are amazing. Anyway, she's going to be on. It's always great to see her smiling face. And it's always great to see your smiling comments. Hello, Rick. Hello, Scarlett. Hello, Barbara from Shy. So good to see everyone here tonight on a Friday night. Where else are you going to be? The bowling alley, I guess. If you're in Georgia, maybe you're bowling right now. I really hope not. Okay. And I'm going to make no jokes about ingesting disinfectants or bleach, because just go to Instagram and scroll through. I mean, the graphics that are coming up are fantastic. Clorox chewables was my favorite. I think that was a Roger Bart. Anyway, no Clorox jokes. I did want to talk about our stars, the Facebook stars. Remember, this was like only for video gamers. Remember how I said this last night when we were talking? So it turns out that's not true, or Facebook thinks I'm a video gamer, because someone gave us stars last night, and we're going to convert those stars to cash and give those to the Actors Fund. So we're not quite sure if it's working perfectly. So what I'd love to do is test it now. So you know how it works. It's buying stars, and then when you like something that I say, or more likely one of my guests says, you can throw stars at us. So I need one of you to test it. So one of you go out and buy like 3.5 million stars and just like throw them at us. Just let's see if it works. Just for the heck of it. Okay, anyone gonna do that? No? Okay. Thank you again for being here. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring on our first guest to talk about really why we're here. Please welcome to the show my friend, and also one of the hardest working guys in show business, and he does it for all of us in show business. Please welcome Joe Benincasa.
Hey, Ken. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Of course.
Raising money for the Actors Fund and building awareness.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Tell me, like, what have your days been like since this began? I can't even imagine.
I think you said it was Friday, right? I've kind of lost count. But everyone at the Actors Fund around the country is going 24/7, and we're doing our jobs. We're making sure that we're helping people, who need help.
And so what was the moment when you knew you were going to be called into action? Do you remember the moment when you were like, oh God, this virus thing, it's not going to be good, and it's especially not going to be good for all the people that we help? Do you remember where you were when it kind of came to be?
Yeah, it came from the Department of Health in New Jersey and Los Angeles and in New York City when we were hearing about this virus. We became very concerned about residents in Englewood, New Jersey at our home, and at our affordable housing residences in West Hollywood, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. So we knew something was coming. And we did stock up on PPE, and we did get ready for what we anticipated would be a struggle. And I think we were all right. We locked our nursing home down 10 days before the governor requested nursing homes and hospitals to shut down. Our administrator, Jordan Stroll, is really brilliant and hardworking, and there 7 days a week. Remarkable. But yeah, we locked it down, and we've been communicating very well with families and friends, letting them know, FaceTiming with their loved ones at the home. So we did the lockdown early. We created 2 COVID-19 units within the nursing home so that we could house people there and provide a safe residence for them. And so we did the same thing up at in Midtown Manhattan at West 57th Street in downtown Brooklyn and in Palmview. In Palmview in West Hollywood, we were just finishing up a $10 million renovation of that affordable housing residence. And we came in right under the wire. We were moving people out 3 or 4 at a time, moving them back in with the renovation. We moved the last person in, and we got the order from the LA County not to do any interior construction anymore. So we just we beat the clock. Okay, so that was good.
So tell us, listen, there are a lot of people might not know exactly what the Actors Fund does, and especially in a situation like this, we know you from your cookies that you give us when we do performances, or that you help, you have some clinics, you have the nursing homes, but specifically in a crisis like this, what is the Actors Fund doing, and even more specifically, for whom?
We serve everyone in the entertainment community. In 1882, when the Actors Fund was founded, it was founded to bury actors and other people in show business who could not be buried in consecrated ground. It's hard to believe, but yeah, it was just hard to believe. So, it was formed by an act of the state legislature in New York, and it's always been Broadway's baby, but it is a national organization helping people in all 50 states. And we have 4 areas of service. One is direct financial assistance to people in need. The other is health insurance and healthcare. We operate a healthcare center in Times Square, and we provide health insurance to people or facilitate the provision of health insurance in a number of ways. We have a career center helping people in show business develop complementary careers so they can supplement their incomes. Or sometimes that's their primary income when you're not working as an actor or a stagehand, a writer, or a director. And then housing. We have a number of facilities that we operate or are part of around the country, primarily in the Los Angeles and New York and New Jersey areas. So it's those 4 areas of service, but it's shelter, it's financial assistance, it's counseling about career, and it's making sure people stay healthy with health insurance and healthcare. Right now, our focus is what I'm calling Act 1, which is providing direct financial assistance to people in our community who need immediate help to put food on the table, to pay the rent, take care of the immediate needs they may have. And so far in the creative community, including you, Ken, have been so fantastic about stepping up to create opportunities for us to raise money. We've raised over $20 million just for direct financial assistance for people in the community. We've spent $6.5 million so far in providing direct financial assistance. We project that by mid-June, we will have spent up to $27 million. So we have a ways to go in terms of fundraising and meeting the needs of the community. Act 2 will be helping people navigate the government systems, helping people keep health insurance, in their health insurance, and making sure they're getting good quality care, and hopefully creating opportunities in the COVID economic environment so people can find meaningful work in addition to their first love, acting, directing, being a stage manager, whatever it is. So we are, that's where we're focused right now.
And what I love, and not a lot of people realize, is again, it's not just actors. It's everybody. If someone's in this business and knocks on your door, Joe, you will help them, right? You help them somehow.
We will help them. If they're part of the performing arts and entertainment community, the creative community, we're up there to help them. And, the Actors Fund has really, during the writer's strike, which affected everybody, whether you're an actor, a writer, a director, stagehands, we stepped up and provided significant financial assistance to everybody affected by the strike a number of years ago. In 2008, with the downturn in the Great Recession, we led a $12 million campaign with great leadership from Jonathan Tisch, Kevin McCullum, and Annette Benning, who's our vice chair, kind of holding the fort down in Los Angeles for us. In 11 months, we raised $12 million, since we knew then that the philanthropy would fall off and we needed to fill our coffers. It helped that Paul McCartney stepped in and helped us with a nice gift. And we did right midway through the campaign. He had just bought Frank Lesser's catalog. And we called up his people and said, that catalog is fantastic. And wouldn't you like to do one of his songs on stage with 24 other Broadway performers? And Paul said, absolutely. And he closed the show down at the Mintz Golf Theater singing what he said at that time was his favorite song. And of course, we believe him, Slow Boat to China. And it brought the house down. So, the Actors Fund is, about the top rated charity in America. It's 4 stars with Charity Navigator, and our overhead is very modest. And we put, the organization walks the walk. It does it rather quietly, does it with great dignity and respect. But it's it's really a wonderful organization, and it has earned the respect of the arts community in a wonderful way. I have to mention that we've earned that respect with the kind of board we've put together. Brian Stokes Mitchell, is our chairman. And, if you were up on the West Side at 7:00 this evening, you would have seen him hanging out his window, singing The Impossible Dream with all healthcare workers from Sinai West below the window and having him call out their names. To Annette Benning, on the West Coast, who has been incredibly thoughtful and helpful to us out there and all over the country. To the theater owners, the directors, the talent. The board is composed of the presidents of the unions and guilds and the theater owners and tons of talent. When I think of BB Newworth, BB joined the board and she had just one intent. She goes, I'm a dancer and I want to make sure dancers are part of the group of people who are being helped by the Actors Fund, since they tend to earn less than most people in show business. And we all know that it's hard to make a good living in show business. Producers may know that better than anyone else can, but it's we're very proud of the board, very proud of our advisory groups and our ambassadors groups. We have about 500 volunteers, and Ken, you're one of them. I'm looking forward to playing another round of golf with you to raise money for a nursing home in Englewood.
Listen, nothing would please me more right now than playing a round of golf. And listen, you're so generous with your thank yous to everyone in your organization. And listen, we got a big a comment here from someone watching, just sending you gratitude for your swift action for taking such good care of those in this beautiful industry in the variety of ways you do. And, I just want to thank you. You thank everyone else. You're doing such an amazing job, and so many people's lives are changed for the better because of you. So thank you. And I will just tell everyone, won't even make you do it. Everyone, this man is working so hard for people just like you, or maybe helping you in the future. So donate right now. Go to that tip jar and donate as much as you can, whatever you can. Joe will be very thankful, I am sure.
Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for doing this. It's a real inspiration to all of us to be able to tune in and and think about the future of theater and watch theater live now. So it's great. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. You take care of yourself. Stay safe.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now. Bye, everybody.
This is Joe Benincasa, everyone. Everyone take a moment and either donate, or if you've already donated, do me a favor. Make sure you hit those hearts and those likes for the Actors Fund. Just hit it right now. What will happen is that will spread the news about what we're doing. The more people that sign on, the more people that give money. And then I will now bring on our next guest. You ready? You ready? Someone give me a yes. Yes. Someone give me a yes. I'm not bringing her on until someone gives me a yes in the damn comments. That's the way it is. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to sit here. Someone. God damn it. Someone. Mary, type yes. What the? There we go. Arthur, I'm going to blame lag in the internet. Please welcome Ali Stroker to the live stream. There we go. Here they all are.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I am here at home.
Yeah, tell me where we were talking a little bit about it, but you have left the city. Where are you right now?
Yeah, so I live in New York City, but I had the chance to come to Cape Cod. Our family friends have an extra home, and they said that we could come stay here. And it was such a gift to be able to get out of the city and some fresh air and a little more space. So it's worked out really nicely.
It's the space thing, because I think, that's what makes being in New York twice as hard right now, because not only is it obviously a hot spot, but most people are living in apartments that are this small and not going anywhere. So
Exactly. To be in these like 500 square foot apartments every single day, day in, day out. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think what I've sensed with sort of my friends and my family is that it's just this past week that it's like psychologically started to get more difficult.
totally.
Just with not knowing like what's next.
I read, there was an article about it. My wife and I were both feeling this way over the weekend, like, oh my God, it's been a month. And then there was an article at CNN, like there's a tipping point, like all of a sudden a month in, there was a CNN reporter that had hit his deadline every week for 10 years straight. And this past Friday, he blew his deadline for the first time in a decade.
Wow.
He was like, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So
I believe it. And then you kind of like beat yourself up because you're like, well, I'm not doing anything. Why am I not okay? But I think that it's just been, it's just been really stressful to be in our homes. And, I also just then feel like there are so many people who have it much worse. So I kind of like feel bad for even saying that. But it's so nice to do things like this, Ken. Thank you so much for asking me to be on tonight.
So what is one thing that you've done during this period that you would not have done if you were living a normal life? Crochet, anything you've done that's just been like, well, I would have picked this up.
Yeah. Well, my boyfriend and I have a theater company called the Actors Gym theater company. And we have been doing play readings 3 times a week on Zoom. And last week for like 4 separate nights, we worked on, or 5, because it's 5 acts, we worked on Hamlet. And I would never normally have the time to do that and to like really get into it. And it was so exciting because it really made me think about the way that I approach a script, like with any kind of script. And anyway, I felt like I was growing, and that felt really, really good.
Who did you read? What character?
Polonius. I was Polonius.
You're Polonius. Of course.
Of course.
I mean, of course.
I mean, obviously.
Polonius.
Polonius.
And were you doing these with the idea that, oh, maybe one day we'll produce it or we'll do it, or you're just like, fuck it, let's just get everyone on Zoom and read Hamlet?
I think that right now it's sort of like, let's just get on Zoom and read plays and then have conversations about them. But after we worked on Hamlet, it was sort of like, this would be such a shame not to continue, and get in a room once this is all over and actually work on this. So we'll see where we're at once we're out of here. But I kind of think that we could do Hamlet. We have enough people, and actually it was an all-female Hamlet, which was also really cool.
I mean, that's very cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. So that made me really happy and challenged me. And I think that's one of the things that I'm missing is feeling challenged. And obviously working as much as I usually do. This has just been such a shift, and I had such a crazy year. And so in so many ways, it's like the break that I asked for from the universe. I needed a break so badly after the show closed. But at the same time, I never expected this. So careful what you look for.
It's that line. Now I forget what it's from. It's like, it's like when you ask for something, be very, very specific.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. What were you working on? Oh, look, we got stars. Look, it's working. Thank you, Laura, for 50 stars. It's not 3 million, Laura, but we'll take it at 50 stars. This is amazing. Look, it actually is working. Allie and I are not playing video games. You can throw stars at us, and it'll all go to the Access Fund. So thank you for that, Laura Frost. This will be fun. We'll see what we can say to get more. Maybe they said it at you playing Polonius and Hamlet, and they were throwing stars. They were just please do this. Or
That's
maybe
so funny.
Hamlet. Look at that. There, Charlotte was all female Hamlet. You got lots of fans. Look, here's someone who saw you in the Putney County Spelling Bee.
Oh, in Cleveland, yeah.
What were you doing? Were you working on anything when this happened? Were you doing in the middle of something?
Yeah, I was the week that this all was happening, and when Broadway shut down, I was shooting an episode of Blue Bloods and working on an original play with our theater company. And I was like doing double duty. I was so exhausted. And we got to Thursday, and Wednesday night, I had finished on Blue Bloods, and Thursday I had rehearsal for this new play that we were working on. And all of a sudden, I saw all this stuff come up on social media, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're closing Broadway. I mean, they never close Broadway. So I was like, what's about to happen? And then that night, like, we made decisions the show was supposed to go up that Monday. So we were just like right at the end of rehearsal. And I was also recording an audio book for a book that's about to come out. One of my heroes, Judy Human, she's a disabled activist. She has a memoir that's coming out. And so I'm doing the audio for it. So I was going in and recording. And when this all happened, we were like, oh my gosh, the book comes out in May. How are we going to do this? So I got recording equipment. I bought it, and I got it, and I had it sent to Cape Cod, and I set it up in the closet, and I finished the book. Because I was like, yeah, it was like one of those moments of like, you know what? I'm just going to make this happen, and I'm going to buy recording equipment. I've always wanted my own little studio, and put it in the closet. and so I finished. And so obviously there are things that I got to finish Blue Bloods, but they didn't get to finish shooting the episode. So so that episode will have to wait until next season because they didn't get to finish this season, which I think about all the projects. I mean, Broadway, of course, but also all the TV shows that we're shooting, movies, commercials, everything came to a halt. It was so crazy.
Yeah, it literally is just like the universe just pressed pause for a moment. It's like everything I'm working on is the same thing. It's just who knows what's going to happen or when. Just waiting, which is the hard part, which is why I think at the month point everyone got a little crazy, a little nuts, how are we going to get through this? I also love that go ahead.
I was just going to say it's so weird to live without the answers. It really is kind of a test of being patient and trusting and knowing, because we don't have answers. Or maybe you have some inside answers. I don't know.
I know absolutely nothing, which I mean, I think it's, and what I know about you and your career and most of the people I've had on, it's just that we're all control freaks, of course, a little bit. We like to plan. Especially in the theater, it's what it's about. We're involved with an art form that we do the same thing every single night, right? So there is planning involved. There's all this, and now we can't. We just have to.
And I think the other part of it, to me, that I begin to spin on and sort of want to know answers is when are we going to feel comfortable to gather in theaters again? Because it's one thing of oh, New York is up and back, and people are going out and doing things, but for theaters, it's a whole other ballgame because we gather in tight spaces, sitting together, and I'm I hope so much that people will, want to do this when it feels safe, buy tickets, even if they normally wouldn't, just to support the community to get back up and going.
Yeah. Well, listen, I asked this on my blog yesterday. I'll ask you, what would make, you'd like to go to the theater. What would make you comfortable? What do you think we need to do? What do you think needs to happen in order to get people to feel comfortable going?
Honestly, a vaccine.
Yeah, that's it. I like that. That's the thing.
And that's so out of our hands as artists. That's not our field. But I do think that people, I feel it right now, people are starting to get really creative, and there may be opportunities to stream shows and to try to, create more opportunities. I also wonder if there is if outdoor theater might become a thing, or outdoor concerts or something could become a thing maybe this summer. I'm not sure where, but I feel like people are going to be more comfortable being outdoors than indoors with each other. I already see that. I see that, like, you see even in parks, like people, people feel a little more relaxed than like in the grocery stores.
Well, Christina Hempel obviously likes that idea. She just threw 200 stars at you for
That's so nice.
I love it. So, do you know what's next for you? Do you have do you know any projects coming up?
Well, I was supposed to do a bunch of concerts this summer, and they all got canceled. So I don't actually know exactly what is next. There are like some things that are just like in the beginning, stages of like conversations and getting teams together that I wouldn't even know how to talk about yet. So I don't really know what is next. But I feel really grateful to have our theater company right now because it gives an opportunity to be working on plays and working on, my skills. And as an artist, it's hard not to be doing your thing because you start to feel like out of shape. You know what I mean? Like if you're not singing every night, your voice it's not as strong or whatever. So it's really nice to have that place to go and work on a scene or work on a monologue or work on a song.
Well, after tonight's episode airs and the world finds out that you have audio recording equipment in your closet and they've done an audiobook, you're going to be like hit with like to do every single audiobook on the planet. You'll be like, never leave Cape Cod or your closet. You'll have so many offers. Let's take a few questions. Taylor Penny asks a classic question. What is your dream role to play on Broadway? And do you think you'll ever get to play it?
Well, playing Ado Annie was such a dream come true. I didn't ever really imagine it before it happened, but that was really exciting and really amazing. I would love to play Audrey in Little Shop. I think that would be really cool.
There's a revival of that going on. Well, not going on right now, but happening. Do they know this?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if they know.
They need to know this. I know these people. I'm going to let them know.
You're on it.
I'm on it. That's amazing. You'd be so good.
Thanks.
And you never played it anywhere before. Have you done any of the songs? Yeah, look, people love this idea. There's Dennis. I love that.
Yeah. And then I most of the time I answer that I would love to originate something, but I've also thought more about what is the part that I would love to play? So Audrey it is.
I love it. Sean asked a question that I know you're very passionate about. You've obviously made enormous strides for the disabled community on Broadway, off Broadway. You're an inspiration to so many. Are there more opportunities for actors now? Do you see this changing? Are we getting better, basically? And what can we do to improve it even more?
I see some shift in TV. I see a lot more characters who have disabilities and more disabled actors getting parts. In theater, it's tricky. There's a lot of pieces. I had heard about. I had heard about a play that was. I don't know if it's still coming to Broadway or not, but it had characters with people with disabilities or actors with disabilities in it. So that would have been definitely, another opportunity. But yes, I think that there is. And Ken, you and I talked about this, I guess maybe 6 months ago now. It's crazy. Just about how, it is on directors and producers to bring actors with disabilities in for parts that are not necessarily disabled. But I also think that it's really on us as actors with disabilities to continue to strengthen our craft and our skills so that we are ready to perform at the highest levels. I sort of take that on as my responsibility because I've never felt empowered when I put the power in someone else's hands. Like it's on the producers. No, it's on me too. It's on the casting directors. No, it's on me too. So I think it's like everyone kind of like needs to up their game, and I do think that there will continue to be more and more actors with disabilities and characters with disabilities as we progress, because I do think that is where we're headed.
Any tips for people watching that are struggling to get through this time period right now? For actors that are struggling, writers, anyone? What are you doing to help keep yourself with that smile on your face?
Yeah. Well, I think every day is different. And as artists, we're so emotional. And so we're really, like for me, like I am riding these roller coasters of emotions. And I think it's just really important to continue to express yourself. So whether that be singing or reading a play out loud, getting on Zoom and reading a play with your friends, whether it be a brainstorm, that's something that I realized I really missed. And like I want to talk about ideas. And that's something that I get from when I go to see something, I'll then go and talk to someone about it. So I think like those kinds of brainstorms, those creative brainstorms, like create those for yourself, like bounce ideas, like what could be a great idea for an animated short or something that we can do right now. So and I think most important is to keep your community close. So to check in with your friends, check in with your family, and the people that you love, because we are all experiencing this together. And I think it feels better to know that you're not alone.
What a fantastic, fantastic answer. I love it. It's just getting together, and just because we can't be in the same room doesn't mean we can't actually connect with people and do something. I just love it. Just throw out a whole bunch of ideas. You never know what sticks. It's your story about Hamlet, like that. You could do Hamlet. You could do an all-female Hamlet as a result of just getting in a room and seeing what happens, and that would be amazing.
Right. And right now, you could use the time to get ready for it.
Yeah.
You could be rehearsing. You could be doing table work, And I think taking classes too. I think it's like an opportunity. Like I'm about to take class. My boyfriend has a theater school, the Actors Gym, and he's doing some Zoom classes in May. And when this first happened, I was like, oh gosh, like that wouldn't work. And then after we've been doing these readings with our company, it's like, oh, it really does work. It's just different, and it really does. It strengthens a different muscle for us as artists. It forces us to focus, and that's something that for me is really hard when I'm not in the room with people and I'm not feeling them. So it's made me like really begin to pay attention in a different way, and I think that will really help me when we come out of this.
I love it. Wayne asks, in Oklahoma, which of course I've told you this before, but you were amazing. What was your biggest challenge to overcome in playing that role, a role that you obviously really wanted to play, and in that specific production?
So that specific production was really difficult physically. It was a 3-hour show, obviously, but for me, it was really, really physical with the dance, and I moved really quickly around that stage. And so for pushing my wheelchair, there was a lot of start and stop. So my wrists really took a beating, and my shoulders. And so it was just physically really, really, really exhausting. So for me, it was just pacing myself and trying to take care of myself physically while I was doing it. That was such a challenge for me, and a new challenge. I never really had felt that before. I don't think I'd ever been challenged in that way.
Arthur Aston, I've told you before, but your show at Lincoln Center was fantastic. What show was this?
I did a songbook series concert.
Really? So this is this was what you were going to do this summer as well?
Yeah. So I did it at the end of January. I did like an hour set, and it was amazing. Um, but yeah, that show, I had a bunch of dates to do in other places around the country. So we're out of hold with those, but I really think that when we come back, there will be more of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're. I mean, one woman shows up that I would certainly love to see. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's always great to see you.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for inspiring everybody. And good. I don't know what's the next play you're going to do.
Well, last night we did The Harvest. Do you know it?
Yes.
It's really good. We did that
Yeah.
last night. And what's coming up soon? Well, in class, we're going to start working on Richard III.
This is amazing. I'm going to throw it into the group right now. What classic would you like to see Allie play in her Zoom readings? And maybe if you throw enough stars at us, maybe she'll invite you in. I don't know. We'll see. But if you have any ideas, throw them in there. We'll send them to her. Oh, look, people are already like, come back and speak at USC. People are just, you've got some big fans here. Thank you so much for being here. Have fun. Give David all my best.
Thank you.
Okay?
I will. Stay safe.
All right. Take care.
Good night. Bye.
Allie Stroker, everybody, always inspiring, always a lot of fun. And I just love that she's doing stuff. It's what she doesn't really, they didn't really expect an outcome. They just said, let's get a whole bunch of people together and let's read Hamlet. You know what's amazing is you can do that too. Oh, look, now they're coming in. There's a little lag on the comments. I got to remember that. King Lear, Allie, people want you to play King Lear and Lady Macbeth. And Morning Becomes Electra. This is, I mean, we'll send it to her and we'll see what she does. And yes, maybe we'll see if we can be an audience for the Zoom presentations. But she's fantastic. And just like she's getting people together to read Hamlet, so can you. So if you're a writer, if you're an actor, if you're a director, just do this tonight. When you stop watching, go over to your email and just send an email to like all your theater friends and like pick a date, pick a time. That's important because people need a date or a time. Pick a date and a time and say, hey, who wants to read Julius Caesar? Who wants to read Tea and Sympathy? I don't know why I came up with that one. I did it in acting class. Just whatever, just who wants to read this script together? We'll get together, we'll have a good time and drink virtual wine. It'll be fun. Do it. You never know what will happen. You never know what will happen, but you know what will happen if you don't do it. Squat, nothing. So get a whole bunch of folks together and just read something. Why not? You got the time. You're not doing anything tomorrow night. Unless you're in Georgia, you're going bowling, aren't you? Don't forget, you can watch Allie again if you want. We do replays of all these. So if you go to the Facebook page and into the videos, you can see all the guests that we've had on so far from back in the beginning, Stephen Schwartz, Sierra Boggess, Alex Brightman. We've done like 35 of these suckers already and counting. So you can watch all the replays, or if you have a favorite, like, oh, I would love my friends to see that, please send it to them. We're just hoping to raise some more money for the Actors Fund. Now that that star feature is working, I feel like a ninja throwing stars at you. Don't forget about the Actors Fund. Joe Benincasa, he's a guy it's worth just giving some money just because of how great of a guy he is, working so hard. And that charity is an amazing charity. Don't forget. Please keep social distancing. Please keep it going, even in Georgia. Just because the bowling alley is open doesn't mean you have to go. And now, finally, something to make you smile. Something to make you smile. This is a creative one. This is creative. It's you know How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying? Do you know this musical? It's a great musical. I saw it on Broadway with Matthew Broderick and Megan Mullally. Fantastic revival. There's a number in it called Coffee Break. And Elliot Maddox put together a video of a whole bunch of people doing coffee break. And it is what basically the premise is what happens if you run out of coffee in a quarantine. And why I love this is this just happened to my wife and I. And literally, my daughter and I make coffee for my wife in the morning. And then my daughter like walks it into her and she says, special delivery, special delivery. And this morning we walked in there and I had my daughter say, no coffee, there's no coffee. And my daughter being the very dramatic young lady that she is, literally went, "There's no coffee!" And we burst out laughing. That's what Elliot Maddox Coffee Break is all about. It's 15 adults, not 2-year-olds, doing Coffee Break from How to Succeed. Very creative, very, very funny. And if you've been without coffee during this quarantine, you know exactly what's going on. Go to theproducersperspective.com/smile, see all of the smiles, and keep the smiles on your face. We're going to get through this together, and Broadway will be back. It will be back, just like Donna D says. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you Monday. That's right. We're taking the weekend off. You know why? Because I decided that we need to remember that we are going to get back to normal life, and we should have a weekend. So we're taking the weekend off, everybody. We're going to get back to our normal routines and our normal lives. We'll see you Monday night. Monday night, Zalman Blodek, from the artistic director of the National Yiddish Theater Folksbian. He'll be here. I'm doing harmony. Barry Manilow's harmony there. They did Fiddler. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about. Great organization, very unique. And we'll be with him on Monday. Tune in. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Getting the band back together.